big one coming up here inside of Maples. Look at the Colorado starting lineup. Guard Jalen Sherrod had a really nice performance on Friday. 15 points. What does she need to do to be effective against Stanford?
Well, she needs to really just run her team. J.R. Payne wants the pace fast. They want their transition offense, and they want to pressure. That is Gerard's job. Keep the pace going and pressure the ball.
Pressure the ball are going to be a big key for Colorado. A look at the Stanford starters. A major change here today is India Navarre will be running the point for Stanford in place of Talana Lapolo, who you mentioned maybe tweaked a foot or an ankle in Friday's game. All right, so she knows what it takes. Colorado has not done that before, but they'll look to do that for the first time today as we get ready for tip-off. Stanford in all white, Colorado in all black. And our officials here today, Michael Price, Brian Woods, and Nicole Leon on the call as Stanford gets the first possession.
And one of the adjustments they've made is going back to some of their chin action that they ran the last few years.
And open in the mid-range. Hannah Jump gets us started.
Picks up where she left off on Friday night. Yeah, she's really embraced the go-to role from the six-person role.
Shot clock wound down there. Colorado forced to throw one up. Stanford now looking in transition.
Let's just watch this break again. Oh my gosh. Getting out and running. Kind of ran into each other. I don't know how she kind of flipped that to her teammate. And obviously Cameron Brink, a great rim runner.
Brink, good at so many things for the Stanford team. Now, you mentioned getting out in transition, a key for Colorado, but how about Stanford? What's the pace they want to play with in this game?
They want to play with pace. I mean, they want to get out and go run with 5 every single possession. That's Stanford basketball.
Cameron Brink knocks down the first free throw. That second one just rattling out.
They are just gonna scratch your head on that one. It's like, we know it's on the release.
Brink, a 76% free throw shooter on the season, an area she's really worked at improving on this season as she knocks down the third try she gets at.
As every other area of her game has improved.
Every area of her game has improved, and there wasn't a lot of room for improvement. The returning All-American was so outstanding last season. She does get called for a foul there down low.
If we want to watch that again, Vonleh just kind of displaces Brink. Brink just probably did a little bit of soccer tunnel there at the end.
And when you're going up against one of the best shot blockers in the country, how do you counteract that when you have Cameron Brink in your face?
You know, if you're Cameron Brink, I can't really relate, right, all 5'4" of me, but if I'm got that wingspan and that athleticism and that timing, how do you not go for the block? You know, which is tough because it's really, they really cannot afford to have her in foul trouble.
Janiyah Harriel makes her way into the game, the redshirt freshman for the Cardinal. Corner 3 for Foreman, and yes, ma'am.
The freshman just went under the screen.
Brink now with a handoff back to Harriel. Down low is Brink. Pulls up the little baseline jumper. That was pretty.
That was very pretty.
Stanford now with a 2-point lead. Colorado looking to tie this one up or possibly take the lead.
Obviously, both these teams want to be in first place. A little excited right now.
Maybe a little bit of jitters. Big game for both sides. Samia Sadler checks in for Colorado, averaging more than 5 points per game on the season. Brink fires open from deep, too strong. However, another O-board for Stanford as Jones looks to create, and she does exactly that.
I think Haley Jones might be one of the toughest box outs in the Pac-12. She is just so elusive. I know no one on our team could ever box her out.
And a quick turnover for Stanford. The chance in transition. Jump fires from deep, and she gets it.
Your job on jump is not to fall for that sidestep.
Letta tries to drive on Emma Nopu, who's another outstanding defender.
Absolutely, and I think Colorado...
Miller goes down. That's a tough fall.
I think that was a great call.
Fran Belibi and Kiki Iriafen now in the game for Stanford. Those two will work the post. In addition, we got Brianna McLeod in the game for Colorado. action, we have Sadler, too strong. Jones with another rebound. Uriafin working the baseline, triple teamed. Kicks out to Emma Nopu, who knocks it down.
Great kick out. A lot of times your bigs are going to turn that over. Great vision, great fill behind by Emma Nopu.
Stanford now with a double-digit lead with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Weta. Wynn working. Ball deflected away. Steal for Stanford. Jump will bring it back out and reset.
Colorado's just got to hit some perimeter shots. The key is not open.
Beliebe with a strong take. Gets it.
It's open for Beliebe, though.
Stanford with their largest lead of the game on a 12-0 run right now. 16-4 the score.
Really want to get Quay Miller a touch. There we go.
Miller on Beliebe. Tries for the turnaround. Gets it. And we'll go to the charity stripe.
Get the ball to our leading scorer, get her a touch, and see if she can get us going.
Miller, a shocking miss for her from the charity stripe. She's a 78% free throw shooter. Uriafin with nowhere to go. Back out to jump. Shot clock at 7. Jump, no. Ball bounces out of bounds. It will stay with the Cardinals.
Great hustle plays, creates extra possessions for them.
Baseline play, Beliebe with the easy lay-in.
That inbound defender needs to shade that pass and pressure, or you got to switch that screen.
45 to go here in the first. Stanford with a 12-point lead over Colorado. Wet off the screen. Sherrod from the elbow, too strong. How about the offensive board and put back by Miller?
She had the little Dennis Rodman going down there. She had position before Sherrod even took the shot. Great offensive rebound and finish.
Miller with 4 points now.
It's not easy to get position on Fran Beliebe.
No, it's not. Miller averaging 7.5 boards per game. That one a big offensive rebound for Colorado. Ball on the floor. Weta and Jones trying to make something happen as the time expires. The thing is, Haley Jones usually is able to find the pass out when she goes to the ground. She's done it a couple times this season.
I think she's a lot more disciplined. But she is going to go for that block.
All right, second quarter action underway. No surprise for any opponents. Cameron Brink going for the block.
Colorado's opening their extended 2-3 zone. They will trap out of this sometimes. They're very aggressive. We saw Weta's really great hands at the end of the first quarter. She's getting her hand on the ball up top.
Jumps three, too strong.
Really good ball hopper. Oh, great fill by Jump.
Jump's second try, too strong, but Stanford reeling in a couple O-boards here, keeping this possession alive. Jones cutting, able to collect, but pulls up. Nice read by Foreman, just out of bounds. It'll stay with Stanford.
But you really kind of have to have a backside screen to make that skip pass in this extended zone. The middle is really open, and that's what Stanford needs to exploit right now.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Navarre has to throw one up. It's a high arcing shot, won't touch anything. Would you say that's more so Stanford being disruptive defensively, or Colorado just not executing on some of those looks?
I think it's Stanford. It's a lot of Stanford. And this lineup tonight is actually a more aggressive defensive lineup than they normally have, but they've done a great job of doubling just like that. So I think we might see a little more of that in the second quarter.
That last deflection just off the hands of Vonleh. Stanford gets another turnover. And a jump from the corner. She doesn't miss that. Not very often. Vonleh off the glass. Won't fall. Uriafin the rebound. How about the defensive pressure from Sherrod? Gets the steal, able to collect. New life for Colorado.
And that's just a freshman mistake, not to step to your pass, turn and look. Sherrod is definitely going to be there all game. picking up Navarre.
That shot just rattles out for the Buffs, but falls right into the hands of Vonleh, who puts it right back up. Vonleh 1 for 7 from the floor. Brink goes up strong.
It'll be interesting to see if they stay in their zone.
Brink sinks both free throws, now has 6 points. Hannah Jump leads the way for the Card with 8.
Here's the picket fence.
Foreman, the elbow, finds Vonleh. Brink with the block, but she appears to have hurt something on her face. She goes down. Initially, it looked like she grabbed her eye.
So see if we can actually see what happened here. Vonleh, just a little bit of a wild off arm, definitely not intentional. I think Tara's asking for review.
This becomes a timeout on the floor. The score, Stanford 23,
yep.
Colorado 10.
Well within the rule to call that a flagrant, even though it didn't appear to be.
Interesting. Well, good news is that Cameron Brink is able to stay in the game after initially holding her face after that contact. She will remain for the Cardinal as they get possession.
And I like the call myself. Brooke Dimitri in the game.
Dimitri in the game, and right on cue, Brooke Dimitri knocks down a corner triple.
Tara loves Brooke Dimitri.
Dimitri, the 6'3" sophomore, defending Miller, but Miller is tough to stop. Jump, Jones, Brink, and Dimitri in the game for Stanford. Top of the key, no. Miller with the rebound.
Boy, Stanford's really getting back in transition. They are not giving Colorado any good transition looks.
Sherrod defended well by Navarre. Navarre now pushing the pace, finds Jones, working against Miller, who initially got her the first time around. Sherrod pushing. Finds Weta, the handoff. Yes, ma'am.
That's what Colorado needs more of. Great transition.
Now, if this were you in your coaching days, what's the adjustment you make?
I mean, they just got to stop forcing, you know, the paint touches. You're not going to establish an inside game against Stanford. Driving, post feeds. I mean, inside out. They're playing behind in the post. I'm going to get the ball into my post, and I'm going to play inside out from there. You're not going to beat Stanford if you don't shoot the ball well from the perimeter. Great.
Miller with the basket from the elbow.
And Weta with the steal.
And there we go. As we were just talking about it, a couple turnovers can really swing the game. But getting a reverse layup on Cameron Brink is going to be very difficult. And going the other way is Stanford, and a jump gets the lay-in. Block party is alive. Who needs to get things going from the perimeter for the Buffs?
Well, Jada Wynn's coming in, and she's a top shooter for Colorado. So I think
Stanford gets another possession here. 3.5 to go. Just under 3.5 in the second. Brink working Vonleh. Out to jump. Jump from 3. We've seen it many times before, but she never ceases to amaze.
Well, J.R. Payne is not happy with Tamia Sadler pinching off the strong side.
Tamia Sadler on the ball. 7 on the shot clock. Sherrod takes it herself from deep, knocks it down.
She's dangerous like that. Not a high percentage shooter, but she's a gamer.
Jalen Sherrod averaging nearly 10 points per game on the season. But we talked about Hannah Jump causing problems for Colorado, and she does it again.
Cannot go under the dribble handoff against Hannah Jump.
Jump now with 16 in today's contest. That's 4 made threes for Hannah Jump, one of the best three-point shooters in the country.
And there's Sadler. Yeah, just going under the handoff. I would be running her off the line. I would be in her shorts.
I mean, Hannah Jump is on pace for a career high if she were to continue scoring at this rate. Sherrod pushing. Sherrod turning on the Jets. Able to get it to Vonleh. Stanford with a possession just before the halftime buzzer. Brink pulls up, almost got stuck. 7 on the shot clock. Beliebe tries to bank it in. No.
Almost a charge there. Clay Miller did a nice job of holding her ground.
4 seconds. 3. Sherrod has some space from deep, and she gets the friendly bounce right as the halftime buzzer expires.
Usually once you hit one, you know, maybe
You're underway here inside of Maples. Stanford and Colorado going toe-to-toe with the top spot in the Pac-12 women's hoops standings on the line. And Cameron Brink with possession down low.
And that's exactly what Colorado's doing. Sherrod is just face guarding Hannah Jump.
Colorado does knock it out of bounds, though, so Stanford gets another chance.
Great fake handoff.
Brink going herself, draws the contact, will go to the line. 9th ranked UCLA trailing shortly behind.
I mean, the top 8 or 9 teams are NCAA teams, and I think this conference race is far, far from over.
Stanford already with 1 loss on the season after falling to the Trojans. Ball just bobbled out of bounds. Navarre back in the game running the point. Stanford's starters in. Brink working down low on Vonleh. Oh, what a move by Cameron Brink.
And that's where Vonleh has to grow to as a defender. You know, she's a young player. This is her first year playing. She didn't play at U of A.
Brink now in double digits and scoring. 10 on the game is Quay Miller knocks down a 3. Tayana Jones getting up there, applying some pressure, not letting Stanford get it in easily. Brink gets the delivery, draws the contact.
If we watch this, I think Sherrod is so focused on jump.
And Brink missed the first free throw. Miller back to running the floor. Shot clock at 9. Miller putting Cameron Brink in the spin cycle for that little floater.
Kind of right back at you.
Stanford basketball, they'll now have to break the press. Frida Foreman checking back into the game for Colorado. Stanford shooting just 1 of 9 so far in the second half. They've really struggled. Stanford now in the bonus. Jones now goes to the line.
Yet they're beating a ranked team by 13 on their home floor. There's a lot of positives to that, too, in terms of everybody out stepping up and doing their job.
Here comes Miller.
Crowd wanted to travel, didn't get it. Another great rebound for Lauren Betts. Doing a great job of taking away the individual player's strengths. Also, it's the second game of the week. It's a frustration foul. So let's hope both these teams can just kind of rally here as we finish out the third. And
Stanford now double digits in blocks as a team. They've got 10 on the game, and Quay Miller tries a little spin around move in the lane. No luck. Stanford goes the other way, trying to push his Jones. Haley Jones knocks down a jumper. Under 30 to go here in the third quarter. Stanford's lead up to 17. Vonleh finally gets one for Colorado. And it was a beautiful finish. Darn it.
And I need to stop talking on top of you, but Foreman really is a great passer in the pick and roll.
3 seconds to go. Jones will take one from 3. Doesn't go. And how about Harriel trying to run that one down?
Yes, Kylan. And, you know, I brought that up with J.R. Payne, and she just said, you know, a lot of those players are gone. So I said, well, you know, these guys have experience. We said, well,
right.
Not that many of them. So we got to rebuild and make some new memories.
Interesting. Looking for new memories here today is Colorado, but they trail by 15 as we begin the fourth quarter.
And it's really got to be a one and done for Colorado in this last 10 minutes.
Can't give up the offensive boards as Stanford now has a second chance. 7 on the shot clock. Jones working down low. Jones, the bank is open.
Well, she does such a great job of reading when she's got a smaller guard on her, and she just runs in, and great job by Navarre to find her.
Stanford's lead now up to 17. Vonleh going to the basket and one.
And again, Foreman, Vonleh, pick and roll.
Vonleh now with 11 points, 8 boards. Strong showing for her. That free throw too strong. That's the first team foul for Stanford as we open up fourth quarter action. Stanford will take it off the baseline. Tough pass. Stanford able to run it down after Brink just kind of batted it the other way. Ball stolen away by Foreman. Out in transition is Sherrod. Gets the lay-in.
That's how Colorado's going to get themselves back in this game.
Turning defense into offense. How about that pass to Haley Jones?
That was a beautiful pass. You really can't front when there's no backside.
Hopefully Dimitri is okay. A huge piece for Stanford, as you mentioned, her facilitating, her passing ability. Miller tries to feed Vonleh, who collects and puts it up and in. Stanford tried to get ahead of the break, out in transition. Colorado doing a good job to get back. Banana jump with the space, knocks one down again.
It's not easy to shake Sherrod. It is not easy.
Miller tries to get the scoop and score. Looks like the Wildcats have a 12-point lead there, and if you want to check out that game, you can download the Pac-12 Now app.
Again, another rare miss by Clay Miller.
Miller just typically a strong free throw shooter, 78% on the season, knocks down the second. Brink cuts to the basket and gets the finish. Sherrod, the speed is just so impressive.
And Sherrod needs more of that if Colorado's going to get back in this game. And there she goes, rips it right out of Haley Jones' hands.
There she goes, but there goes Cameron Brink.
She got the foul.
Not happy about the call there. Immediately whistle blows. Foul called on Brink.
The foul is on Stanford's number 22, Cameron Brink. Second person.
See that one again, dropped her shoulder.
Technical foul assist to the Colorado bench.
And we do have a technical foul being called here on the floor against Colorado coach J.R. Payne. So watch this. Check out Payne on the bench here, getting into the referee's face a little bit.
And that is veteran Mike Price, who doesn't appreciate when coaches don't respect the officials. And I understand that. You know, they're working hard, and I think JR would probably like to have that back, though. They were making a nice run.
Sherrod sinks the first free throw. Second one short.
You know, Stanford was going to get the possession. It's just going to be if they make their free throws here.
Jump sinks the first.
She is in fuego.
Ooh, I thought you were going to give her the announcer's jinx on that one for a second, Charlie. Hannah Jump now with 21 points. Add in a board and an assist. She is on fire. 5 for 9 from beyond the arc. 7 of 14 from the field.
Still lots of time. Lots of time, and Colorado knows it.
Just under 6 remaining here in the fourth quarter inside of Maples. Tough foul called on the floor. Levy making the contact there on the screen. Foreman denied. Follows and gets the finish.
Helped her post player on the up screen, which she's going to need to do again, but didn't.
There goes Brink off the screen. Can't get the finish. Sherrod. Transition. Sherrod tries to go up against Jump, who's called for the foul.
Almost always the officials are going to give advantage to the offense.
That's Jump's first on the game. Both teams now in the bonus.
Once an offensive player takes your space, it's pretty much always going to be your foul.
Now 12 points. The chance for 13, too short. Now working on Kendall Wetta, who's back into the game and is just a defensive stalwart. Jones, first shot from free throw line won't go. Sherrod now in transition. Sherrod out to Miller. The trail three, too strong. Sherrod gets it back, thinks about it, says, yeah, I like that shot. We've got Ashton Prechtel in the game. She stays in alongside 4 of Stanford's starters. 7 on the shot clock. Navarre on the baseline.
Pretty much starting lineups. Both teams have their starting lineups, and both coaches know this game is not over.
Both teams almost their starting lineups in, but you've got Prechtel in for Stanford.
And Prechtel is a great shooter, but she's really grown defensively. Obviously, Colorado's got their inside game going a little bit with the pick and roll on Vonleh, so I think she's in to guard Vonleh.
Thank you for adding that in. Deflection, out of bounds. Colorado keeps it. Miller too strong. Stanford able to battle for that board, but Sherrod just will not go away, applies the pressure and gets the ball back for the Buffaloes. And just being a passed on defense. Sherrod calling out the offense. Miller, little fake. Miller from the elbow, no.
She does have that in her bag, though. All out full court denial press here by Colorado.
Foul called quickly, and it looks like the referee is indicating Kendall Wetta looking to lead her squad to an upset. They're looking for that signature win this season, head coach Charlotte Smith. However, based on what you saw from Utah on Friday, what do you think the ceiling is for that team?
For Utah, I think sky's the limit. I think they have all the pieces, and I think they learned a lot from the Stanford game. They haven't lost very much this year, and they're going to take that and get just that much better. Sherrod
this time going to the line as Harriel's called for her first personal. Under 2 minutes to go. Stanford with a 14-point lead as that one rolls in. The Pac-12 standings at 7-1 if Stanford can close this one out.
Go high on ball spread action.
2 seconds on the shot clock. That one rattles out. Believe ends up with the board. Can't get the putback, but
they were plus 17. They've only been plus 4 or 5. So I think this is an area that,
with that last jump ball, the possession arrow stays with Stanford, so they get the inbounds play on the baseline. However, we do have a foul call.
Try to adjust. She hasn't really been getting a lot of help from her teammates when she's been nailing that up screen. So at some point, you got to make Cameron earn it.
Cameron Brink knocks down the first free throw. Second one just rattles out. This conference is so loaded with women's hoops, but Colorado hosts the Southern California schools after this one. If you're the Buffs, what's the focus this week in practice?
Well, they're going to be playing themselves because it's going to be pressure from both the LA teams, and not giving up second shots, because UCLA is phenomenal. And you got to build equity as a freshman. It's hard when Tara has so many experienced players, but I'm glad that she's allowing her to build some equity.
Now, even for highly touted recruits like Betts, is there still some adjustment just to the speed and physicality of the collegiate game? I feel like sometimes he lights out.
That's so well said. Absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, just her off arm.
Do have a new face on the floor for Stanford, Elena Boscana. Getting some action here today, the 6'2 sophomore out of Athens, Greece.
That free throw kind of...
And the second one, same story.
Definitely a great defensive effort against the Cardinal.
Colorado still going full court as we have 15 remaining. Shot clock is off. Stanford just needs to close out. And they'll do exactly that. 13-point lead for Stanford as the crowd is now on its feet here inside of Naples. Stanford looking to sit atop the Pac-12 women's basketball standings.